Welcome to this Specialty Products Company training video. This video will feature the use of the heavy-duty Fastrax Camber caster toe measuring gauge. This gauge displays up to 4 degrees of positive or negative wheel camber along with up to 12 degrees of wheel caster. This heavy-duty Fastrax is similar in operation to the smaller versions. It has an adjustable camber caster gauge that can be used on non-level surfaces. The vial can be adjusted by backing off the zero camber lock screw, loosening the four-sided knob, and moving the vial up and down. Like the other Fastrax gauges, this unit has a unique gear-type clamping system to accommodate wheels from 21 to 26 inches normally found on large trucks. To use the heavy-duty Fastrax on non-level surfaces, place the unit on the ground next to the wheel. Hold the unit steady so it is flat on the ground. Completely back off the zero lock screw, then loosen the black four-sided clamping knob. The vial will now move up and down. Set the bubble to zero camber, as read on the left side of the vial block, and tighten the black clamping knob only. Position the mounting arm tips to grab either the outside or inside of the wheel lip, depending on the type of wheel you are working on. Mount the unit so all 3 tips are flush against the wheel. Loosen the large black clamping knob, rotate the adjusting knob, and tighten the knob just enough for a snug fit on the wheel lip. Do not over-tighten. Positive or negative camber for this wheel can now be read directly off the bubble gauge from the scale on the left side. The camber angle is formed from the tilt of the tire when looking at it from the front of the vehicle and is measured in degrees from 0. Positive camber is when the tire is tilted out at the top. Negative camber is when the tire is tilted in at the top. Depending on vehicle alignment specifications, as little as 1/2 degree difference of camber from side to side can make a vehicle pull while driving. Camber problems can also wear the tires on one side over a period of time. Here's an example of camber wear. Total toe is the difference in distance from the leading edge or front of the tire to the trailing edge or rear of the tire when measured on a plane through the tire. What that means is a good reference point is needed to measure total toe to get an accurate measurement. An easy way to get a good reference point for measuring toe is to use the Fastrax gauge toe arms. Loosen the knobs and rotate the arms until they are straight out, then tighten the clamping knobs. Using the supplied tape measure, measure the distance from the back of one wheel to the reference bar on the other wheel as shown. Record this measurement. Now measure from the front of the wheel across to the front of the other wheel and record this measurement. Try to position the tape so it is in line with the widest point of the tire tread for an accurate toe measurement. The difference in these 2 measurements is total toe. Positive toe is when the front measurement is less than the rear and the tires are toed in relationship to each other. Negative toe is just the opposite. The tires are toed out in relationship to each other. For example, if the front measurement is less than the rear, the vehicle has a positive or toe-in condition. On the other hand, if the front measurement is greater than the rear, then the vehicle has a toe-out or negative toe condition. Excessive positive or negative toe is the greatest cause of tire wear and is the only angle adjustable on all vehicles. A quicker way to measure all angles is the use of two heavy-duty Fastrax gauges. Level and mount the unit as described previously. Camber for this wheel can now be read directly on the gauge. Extend the toe arms and lock into place to measure total toe. Again, using the supplied tape measure, measure the distance from the front arm to arm and record that measurement. Now measure the distance from the rear to rear arms and calculate the total toe. Caster is not a direct tire wearing angle, but can cause a vehicle to pull if there is too much difference from side to side. As little as 1/2 degree difference from side to side can cause a vehicle to pull. Caster is the angle of the steering axis when viewed from the side of the vehicle and is measured in degrees. To measure caster with a heavy-duty Fastrax gauge, turn the wheel to be measured inward 15 degrees. This 15-degree turn can be easily attained by using the angled tip of the gauge block as a guide. Make sure the zero lock screw is backed off. Then loosen the vial block lock knob and set the gauge to 0 on the caster scale. Tighten the black clamping knob. Now turn the wheels 15 degrees in the opposite direction. Again, use the angled tip of the vial block as a guide. The caster for this wheel can now be read directly from the bubble gauge. Record this reading and compare it to the other side.